Hello, everyone, and welcome to Total Packers with Matt LaFleur. Larry McCarren, along with the head coach of the Green Bay Packers. And Matt, during your tenure, you haven't lost very often, but when you have, you always bounce back. What are the keys to doing that again?
Just getting back to work. And, luckily we have a great coaching staff and great players that I think that are all resilient and are ready to get back to the grind. And we know we have a tough NFC North opponent coming in on Monday night.
As far as execution of the actual football stuff, blocking, tackling, route running, that kind of thing, what do you got to get fixed this week?
Well, there's a lot that we have to get fixed because it was pretty bad on both sides of the ball. Definitely not up to our standard. I think everybody realizes that. It obviously starts with our coaching and implementing a plan, and then our players got to make that plan kind of come to life. And certainly we didn't do a good enough job in any phase.
Situational football, third down, red zone, that kind of thing. You guys normally great at it. Against the Saints, not so great, but you work it to death as a coach. How do you figure that when that comes up short?
Yeah, you're not even giving yourself a chance when you have 3 turnovers, when you go for it in probably less than ideal situation and you don't convert. And then certainly on third down on both sides of the ball, there were opportunities there early in the first half for our defense to get off the field, and unfortunately allowed Jameis to get out and create and extend some third downs with his legs that led to points. And then, from an offensive perspective, when our defense isn't, getting the stops, we've got to find ways to sustain drives, get points, and play complementary football.
After a game like the Saints game, the phrase, "were they ready to play," always comes up. Now, personal opinion, I think it's a player's job to make sure he is ready to play. What does that phrase mean to you?
Yeah, I think just everybody with the right mindset. Certainly for a lot of our guys, it was the first time out on the field this year, and that's never an excuse. Obviously, we've got to put together a better plan, and then our guys got to go out and execute it.
Had 2 rookies making their first regular season NFL starts. Josh Myers, Royce Newman. How did the young fellows hold up?
I thought there was a lot of good in their play. There were some moments where we've got to be better, both in the run game and in the pass game. Obviously, when we threw that interception, when we were in the red zone with a chance to cut it to a 1-possession game, we gave them some pressure really from both guard spots, and that led to our quarterback getting off the spot and missing the throw.
I might be all messed up with this, well, obviously, because nobody else has talked about it very much, but those 2 15-play drives the Saints had in the first half, could they have had a game-long effect in the sense of fatiguing your defense? And as far as offensive flow, those guys are sitting on the sideline for like ever. Could those have had a game-long impact?
Well, yeah, I think certainly in the first half our defense was tired, and I want to say they had a 9-play drive, the first drive, and then the 2 15-play drives, and I think at the 2-minute mark of the first half, our offense had been on the field for 12 snaps. So again, it comes back down to playing complementary football. When one side isn't doing well, we need the other side to kind of hold it together for us, and unfortunately, neither side did that.
Defensively speaking, a lot of the same guys, but some new stuff. Were there any issues with communication?
Yeah, I think so. I think it, certainly with unscouted looks, there's going to be some of those in terms of mistakes and responsibilities, and we just have to be able to adjust, make sure we're making the corrections on the sideline so they don't come back to hurt us later in the game.
Thank you, Matt. Coming up, meet the Packers' new punter. We'll be right back. Total Packers with Matt LaFleur is brought to you by your local Chevy dealers, by Bellum Health, and by Johnsonville. Welcome back. This one-on-one is brought to you by Pothole Frozen Pizza from Quick Trip. 4 punts, a 44-yard gross average, 40.8-yard net average, 1 inside the 20. That's what the numbers say. What does Corey say about his Packer debut?
I think it could have been better. I'm someone that always strives to do better than what I did. So even on the third punt that he got a little bit of a return on, like a perfect punt for me would have been, 0 yards on the return. So I kind of look at what could I have done better to eliminate that return. The last punt, the pooch punt, I thought I went 5 yards farther than it did. I thought it went out to 10, and saw it was actually the 15. So even right there, there was another 5 yards it could have got. So little things like that, I think I could have improved on. So that'll, that's what I'll be working on this week.
Corey, you had a 59-yarder, which I think most folks would say, well, that's your best punt. But you also had a 47-yarder that went out of bounds. And from a professional's point of view, which is the best punt?
Depends on how you're looking at it. The one didn't have a return at all, it was 47, but the 59 was a cleaner punt that I had, so it's like this or that. Personally, I like the 59-yarder better, and I would have liked it to be a little more to the sideline or even, land a yard out of bounds, that would have been perfect.
Corey, Packer special teams as a whole have not been good. How do you feel about the collective effort, the group's effort against the Saints?
I think we did a pretty good job. They didn't really allow real big return on that long punt that we had, and that's something that can be a little worrisome. For them to not let him break loose and, get a 30, 40-yard return on it, for me is pretty big. So, if we're netting over 42 yards on a punt, I feel like everyone's pretty happy with it, and I felt like we were able to accomplish that. Of
course, punting is just part of your job. You're also holding for Mason Crosby. How do you approach that part of your job?
I take a lot of pride in my holding. I know the better that I can get that ball placement in the right spot and get the laces and the lean and everything how, Mason likes it, the more comfortable he'll be when he's going into his kicking, which is just going to help him be better.
How is your rapport and relationship with Mason going so far?
Oh, it's been great. He's an awesome guy. Before I even got here, he texted me, letting me know that he was there if I needed anything. From the get-go, and I've heard a lot of great things about him too. Met him once before when we came to play here, and he's a great dude.
Corey, you put up some team record numbers in Buffalo. Apparently, crappy weather doesn't bother you.
That's something that took some time to get used to because, growing up in Southern California, you don't get snow or, really any much wind or, rain for that matter. So going out there, just, the mental aspect of it is, I think, what was the biggest challenge for me. And once I felt mentally comfortable in those kind of conditions, whatever it was, it made the games a lot easier.
Corey, as a specialist, you do not get a second down. It's got to be first time, every time. How do you deal with that kind of pressure?
Oh, I love it. I've always been someone, I love performing under pressure, only having that one chance for me, is a lot of fun.
Corey, last question for you, and it's important to Packer fans.
Okay.
If you happen to be the last man standing, can you make the tackle?
Of course I can. Of course.
Well, wonderful. Thanks for being with us, Corey. Best of luck the rest of the way, and welcome to Green Bay.
Thank you.
Just ahead, this week's Chalk Talk. Don't go away. Welcome back. This week's Chalk Talk is brought to you by Network Health. I guess it's my job to find a silver lining in the dark cloud of the Saints game, and I found one in Aaron Jones. Let's take a look at 3 consecutive plays from the Packers' only scoring drive of the game. Aaron Jones and his job is blitz pickup, and his man is number 5, Quan Alexander. But the Saints are running a stunt, and the most dangerous becomes Cam Jordan, all 6'4", 287 pounds worth. And keep in mind, Aaron is listed at a generous 5'9", 208. But watch him. He busts Jordan right underneath the chin. Doesn't play the fringes at all, doesn't dive at his ankles hoping for the best. He just butts him right in the chin and keeps his quarterback clean for a short completion. Next play, here's Aaron. Once again, his man is Alexander, but this time no stunt. Alexander's coming right over the top, and initially he gets the better of it. Aaron is a little high, but watch him battle. Even though he's given up ground, you can almost feel the fight in every inch. Net result, a successful block, a clean quarterback, and a throw down field that draws a penalty. 1st and 10, Green Bay. Third play, Aaron's going out on a pass route, but not before he says, "Hey Jordan, you want some more of this?" Look at him butt him right underneath the chin again. And this really helps the offensive line. It's like body blows, wears the defense down. And when you have your star running back doing the blue-collar dirty work on a day where carries and yards are going to be scarce, there's hope for the future.
It's a long season, like I said, 16 more games. I think last year and the year before we lost 3 games. So this is one loss. It's all about how you respond from it and respond from adversity.
Total Packers with Matt LaFleur is brought to you by Network Health, by your Wisconsin Toyota dealers, and by Ticketmaster. Through their Touchdowns for Hunger program, Sargento Cheese helps alleviate hunger in Wisconsin through donations to Hunger Task Force in Milwaukee and Paul's Pantry in Green Bay for touchdowns scored by the Packers during the 2021 regular season.
All right, hey, listen up real quick, fellas. This is a unique group, one of the most unique groups I've ever been around, and being that I've never been a part of a team. 27 players got votes. I think that says a lot about this group. There's a lot of leaders, a lot of great leaders in this group. We had 10 players get double-digit votes. 10. That is something pretty special. All right? But it was tight, man. It was tight. But there were 7 guys that were above everybody else in terms of the number of votes. So, your 7 captains on special teams, represent special teams. Mason Crosby. Yeah. Come on, Mason. On the defensive side of the ball, we've got Kenny Clark. Hey. And Jair Alexander. And Adrian Amos. On the offensive side of the ball, Aaron Rodgers. We got Mercedes Lewis. Get in here, man. Let's go. We got Devontae Adams. Hey, this is your captains for this season, the 2021 Green Bay Packers, all right? And there's nothing more powerful, we talk about it all the time, than what? Player-led. And we're fortunate to be a part of this group. And just, hey, whether you're a captain or not, man, that doesn't mean you can't lead. Everybody's going to lead in their own way, all right? But we feel really good about this group. It's a special group. Let's make it a special year, and we know that's by putting in the work. All right? Captains, you got them.
Welcome back. Matt, we just saw you introduce your 7 captains for this season. I would imagine this is the kind of week where you really need strong player leadership.
Absolutely. We're going to lean on those guys. I think, like we talked about earlier, we had 10 guys that received more than 10 votes. So I think that speaks to the leadership on this football team. We've got a lot of veterans, and we will certainly lean on them in times of adversity.
Player-led team is always the best, right?
Oh, absolutely. I think you look at all the great teams, and there is strong leadership coming from that locker room, and we're confident in the guys that we have.
Matt, I noticed before the game You didn't send out all 7, just sent out a couple guys. What's the story there? What's going on there?
I think that's a league policy. So they asked for 3 guys, and those 3 guys went out there, and I made sure Mason was one of them because he was the one that I told exactly what we wanted to do if we were to win the toss.
Thank you, Matt. Coming up, the last word from the coach. Don't go away.
He's hit and sacked. He's sacked.
The Last Word with Matt LaFleur is brought to you by Construction Business Group and Wisconsin Operating Engineers. Welcome back. Matt, the Monday night game, the home opener against the Lions, can it get here soon enough?
I wish we were already playing, Larry. Anytime you put on that type of performance, there's nothing better than getting back to work and getting back out on that field, and it's going to be great. It'll be the first time in our stadium with a packed house on Monday night against an NFC North opponent, and we know that both teams will be extremely hungry. Obviously, Detroit had a disappointing week 1, as did we, and this is an important game for our division and our conference.
Matt, with a new head coach in Dan Campbell, are you expecting dramatic changes in the way the Lions go about their football business?
Oh, absolutely. They got a different philosophy, different coordinators, a lot of new players, and so it's going to be a great challenge for us. We have some familiarity with a couple of their guys, and Jamal Williams and Tim Boyle are there, and 2 guys that we got a lot of respect for, a lot of love for, but none come Monday night.
Jamal, you mentioned him, and we love Jamal except on Monday night. He had over 100 yards of total offense, was the Lions' leading rusher in the game they lost to the 49ers. He's off to a good start.
Yeah, it's not shocking to me. He's a guy that, just brings so much energy, so much juice to your team, and, it's going to be a great challenge. I know he'll be fired up to come into Lambeau and play, and, we're going to have to do a great job and make the necessary adjustments to stop their rushing attack.
The Lions' new defensive coordinator comes from New Orleans, Aaron Glenn. Do you think they'll do a lot of the same things the Saints did?
Yeah, there's a little differences in their front structure, but I think from a coverage standpoint, there could be a lot of similarities. I'm sure that they will be talking with the Saints staff, I would imagine, this week, and but we'll have a good plan to attack, and I expect a much better performance from us offensively.
Of course, Jared Goff taking over for Matthew Stafford at quarterback. What kind of quarterback is Goff?
Well, I was with Jared his second year in the league in LA, a guy I've got a lot of respect for. He's tough, he'll stand in there, and he's a resilient guy. He can make every throw there is out there, and we're going to have to be on it and make sure that we get a good pass rush, get him off the spot to try to, limit his abilities to throw the ball down the field.
Thank you, Matt. Good luck against the Lions, and thank you for watching. Until next time, take care.